Hi, I was sent this photograph by a friend in British Columbia. It's near where he lives, near the River Powell, or Powell River. It looks quite straightforward. I'm going to do wet in wet because of all these rocks. Rather than trying to paint them individually, I'm going to put in a dark tone and etch them or scrape them back with a bit of a plastic card. And the whole beach area coming through here. These pines and some more pines on a further bank there with some buildings. I'll probably lift those out when I've done it. Quite an interesting sky. I'll try and do a bit more interesting than it shows. It looks like a sun rising behind some clouds. Well, there's the sun there. So it's just breaking through. So it's later in the day, not the morning. Might be around about 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, but I'll do something similar anyway. Now I'll cover my computer keyboard up, my old laptop. Right, back to the board. I've done a very rough. I'm only going to do a rough idea of this. I can't do portraits of anything. They take too long. I'm reading a wonderful autobiography at the moment by one of our great art critics, a great man with great knowledge of the old masters, Brian Sewell. Anybody interested in art, and he's often on television, but he's not very well now. And he's getting on in years, but has a fantastic knowledge of 17th, 18th century paintings. Doesn't think much of modern art, but has a wonderful cynical outlook on things. Right, okay, so I've got my usual palette. I'm using the Fabriano 130 pound weight, 15 inches by 11, which is a good studio size for demonstrating. It would be too small if I was demonstrating for an art group. I'll do it at least twice as big as this. And I'm using the usual palette of lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. I'll give my palette just a little bit of a clean here from yesterday. The weather here is still atrocious. Lots of flooding now. It's getting quite serious, and high tides backing up the floodwater. And I live 40 miles inland, probably as the crow flies about 6-7 miles from the River Thames. But we've had storm after storm after storm after storm, and it promises storms for the weekend, and just as people start to get back to normal, it all tips down again. So that is reflecting in some of my paintings now. I'll wet the paper all over. Oh, can you hear the wind, the rain beating down on my Velux windows? 2-inch shake. I'll use other brushes for this, but I want to get this cloud in first. So I'll put in a bit of warm raw sienna in the sky. This will be the light cloud area, and after coming across there, the light has really gone. I've got some sort of small spotlights shining on the board, but I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. I don't want too many shadows cast by hand. Okay, let's. You need a cloth to take the excess moisture from the heat. Hold it in your hand or put it. I've got the tray of my box easel here, and I can rest everything on that. But I like to hold the palette. Something I never do when I'm working in oils. I paint from a table. Right, so a bit of ultramarine coming all the way across the sky with just some breaks, and then a bit heavier on the horizon. leaving some. That will fall, sink down as the gravity. I've got the painting at about a 35-degree angle, so it's not running down quite as quickly as it would otherwise. Listen to that noise there. Now, I'm going to dry that now. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to put a bit of that colour in the sea. Or it is sea. I'm sure it's sea. It's a very wide area of this river. Might be near the estuary. I don't know. So that's the basic cloud shadow reflecting on the water. Right, we'll let that go. Let's see what happens to that. Bring the brush, and I'll dry it off a little bit. This will also stop it from bleeding down too far. I had a lovely demonstration painting that I bought from John Darlison years and years ago. Must be nearly 25-30 years ago. He was doing wet in wet, full imperial size, and he put all his colours in, and this lovely fast flowing stream and the rocks in it. And the first time I ever saw that technique of scraping out with a plastic credit card, he put the colours in, then he scraped them out, and they looked fantastic. Then about a month later, looking at the painting which I had framed, all the colours in the rocks had moved down into the water. I might show it to you sometime. It's a cracking demonstration. £25, worth a lot more now. Right, let's put in the background. No detail in this background, so we'll just put it sky colours. Fairly dark. This is green. A bit of a hill there. Down to the horizon. And the shape of that, the trees here is quite abrupt, so I'll do it as I see it in the photograph. There's also another one showing a lot of fishing boats, but it would require a lot of filtering, a lot of editing to make it simple enough for me to make. Right, that's okay. Right, that's a good start. So we'll go into this bit of beach area, bit of the landscape here. So I can see some grassy, dark grasses. So I'll use burnt sienna, Payne's grey, lemon yellow. So slightly in shadow area here, coming down. Bit of raw sienna in there as well. Into a lot of rocks here, so oops. So let's put in some nice rock colour, red and blue, and that green, because there's some nice rocks in here, so we'll put those in. Try and do this as quickly as I can. I want to get the rocks in, but I want to do the beach as well. I'll warm up some of this. And where I stop here, I'm going to put the rocks. And there's lots of light shining off of the the tops of the rocks. That'll do for the beach. Now get in with the really dark reds, umbers, siennas. For these are nice and really thick. Brushes come. Get some of that, nice. So this is going to change when I've put in my strokes with the get that wet with the credit card or plastic card. That'll be my modelling, and that's not thick enough there. It's wet there because of the obviously the gravity is taking it down. Right, credit card, or was. Move that out of the way. Right, let's the light is on the top of these. The shadow side, let's keep that lot separate from the other one underneath. I'll go and do some modelling with the brush in there. Show some more shadows. He's coming down here, this smaller here. Easy when you know how, isn't it? Little pebbles. Right, that'll do. With my 1/2 inch flat and some of those darker colours, I'll just go back with a warm dark. Put these in here. Shadows. Big one there. These couple of here don't exist. I got carried away. Okay, that'll do. Won't do any more than that. Otherwise, we'll overdo it. Now, the next difficult thing are these trees, these pine trees. I'm going to put in the trunks with the hake. And that's all coming up here. Straight off the top of that. Bit of shadow on one side, well, darker on one side. And we've got some smaller ones behind that. They were slightly bluer. I'm going to cover these up with all sorts of branches, pines. just done one main one there, and these others just coming up here. And there's one that goes right the way up but hasn't got any branches on the top of it, so just pretty neat. Right, now a bit of a practice. Bit of yellow in there, so just to show some catching. It's, the branches are sort of come out that way. Quite a lot going on up the top here. Some darker ones. There's quite a lot going on here. I should have done the far one first, but let's just, while we're at it, the colour, just fill in down here. I can rigger some of that. So these ones we're going to put further off with A. Put in the bank there. Now a bit of darker colour. Because I want to etch out some blues in there. Well, that's it. Right, bit of dark. Should that be going behind? Okay. Right, now nice, good bit of dark in there. Rigger. Warm darks. some nice darks coming up here. The shadows, contrasting with the background. So I wanted to keep that light there and that dark. I'm guessing this. These branches sort of go all over the place. They sort of stick out sideways, don't they? Or almost horizontal. Dark ones in there. I'll let that dry off a little bit. And we've got a little boat in here, so I'm going to use this little brush. I want some control over that. So it's quite a dark hole. So just leave a little bit of light water above. There's not much of a reflection in that, a bit too far away. Okay. Now my inch flat, put a mast on. Now I'm not so sure whether that might be just a little bit too dark, the hull. Oh, sun's out now. I just wonder if I could just put that a little bit, just take a little bit of that intensity out. I can't see if there's any reflection on it, but I don't think so, because this is all ruffled water. It'll need a bit of dry brushing, I think, but I'm risking it on this paper because it wants to be dead flat. But I'll see what happens. Oops. Finger slipping. Oh, that's the news I'm going to get it. So we'll just. Yeah, it's very risky, this. That might just be a bit too strong, but let's go over to the. Right, I'm not going to do much more than that. I think anything more than that would sort of ruin it. I don't know what that is there. My mast is not straight. Let's just. too wet. Start that again. Dry off. And right, sorry about my head. Right, that will do. Let's sign it, and then we'll put on the usual blue mount. Maybe that just needs a bit of. Now I'll just dry that off. I just want to do a little bit more to that. I'll use my hake, I'll dry it off, and I'll mix up a very dark green, and I'll just stipple some darker bits over that. Let's see if this will. I like to mix red or sienna with the Payne's grey on these dark greens. Right. Got nice warm greens, and there's quite a bit there. Let some air through. More there. Warm. Coming out across there. To contrast with the blue behind it. Okay, no more. Thus far. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. Put that there. Right, just get them out. I reckon that could come up a little bit. That's it. Okay. Well, there we are, Powell River, British Columbia. Hope you see this one, Steve. Done for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll zoom in and you can have a look, see what sort of brushwork I've used, especially in those trees here. I've just gone over with the warm green to show the pine needles. Done the pines simply behind, just in a different colour. Oh, I know what I was going to do while you watch. There's some buildings in there. I'll get my little flat with a bit of tissue, a bit of a wet, and then right, just to show some cabins or something, whatever, something behind there. Bit of a chimney on there. I'm guessing this it's too far away for me to see. Right, okay, that will do. So you can just about see little cabins there. Sorry about the angle, but there's my little boat. just a simple background and the rocks, done with the card as you saw. It's quite simple, really. Nice bit of warm green here to contrast with all the greys. Alright, let's come out of that. I won't show you the picture, I copied it from you. I'll just come out, let's see if I can, that's a bit better. There we are. Makes some ferocious noises stand when I move it. Right, there we are, Powell River. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.